What's going on, y'all? It's Michael. Forgive the wet hair, I just got out of the shower. I am in Salvo, North Carolina. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that the past month of my life has kind of fucking sucked, with having to take care of my dad before he passed away. My friend ended up coincidentally having a beach house rented out for this week, and he told me that he wanted me to come to just take my mind off things and get away from everything. So I know how irresponsible it is to be out of the house right now, but I feel like I really need it, and we're taking the precautions that we need to stay away from other people. But yeah, I figured I would get a little bit of creativity out of my system while I'm here and possibly show you all some stuff just to maybe get you all through quarantine. Obviously, it's mostly gonna be B-roll, but I figure I can probably show you all some good indications of what I'll be wearing for the summer. Right now, I've got on this very neat Bronchino short sleeve button-up shirt that I got from Silver League. It has a nice little like 2-sleeve detailing. The placket is wanting to fold over for whatever reason. It's got a nice little pocket, and then the back yoke has this really interesting detail where it's like a inverted box pleat that is top stitched on the edges. Interesting, at least. Fits pretty well. It's kind of wrinkled from being in my bag for 2 days, but it's pretty nice looking. And then below that, I got these Jacquemus shorts that I've shown off in a previous video, so I won't really go into detail about them, but I've also got these espadrilles that I bought from Matches for like 50 bucks. So pretty good indication. I'll probably be re-wearing these throughout the next few days before I go back. But yeah, just trying to get away from everything, do some reading, do some relaxing, and yeah, mostly just take my mind off of things. So gonna be pretty laid back vlog, I guess. Mostly just, you know, showing some books and, you know, whatever I feel like ranting about. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll probably pop my head in a couple times throughout this video, but I'll see y'all in a bit. Look at this dude. I'll take some clips tomorrow, I promise. It's very unsettling how monstrous human beings are and have always been, just the way that it's in human nature. But it was just the norm 500 years ago. And this revelation that humanity has always been the same and is just going in a cycle is something that has often bothered me, which is why I'm also reading this book, The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it is a poetic meditation on suicide. It's an essay, and I really recommend it to you know, anybody that's struggling with nihilism, because I'm only about 45 pages in, and its argument has, what's the word? I don't know, it's grasped me for sure. Definitely connected with it. But I got this book from Francis at the Acefala. Francis is the writer for Silver League, which I'm sure you all are familiar with, but he has opened up his own curated book selection. You know, he's got his own page for it. It's a store, and it's titled Acefala. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a French word, but I wholeheartedly stand behind any of the books that he's selected. You know, he hasn't asked me to say this at all. You could probably choose any of the books that he has for sale at random, and the amount of money that you spend on it, you'll get that investment back. So I really want you all to support him and his curation skills, because you will not regret it. You know, feel free to better yourself with some reading. Fit for today, Ralph Lauren hat that I took the embroidery off of. It's a little chilly, so this thrifted, a little beaten flannel. And then I've got these Wilson shorts on with a little bit of paint splatter that I've shown y'all before. And on the feet, I got these espadrilles again that I didn't really go into, but basically for some summer shoes, I kind of wanted to stick with a slightly more formal silhouette, but I also wanted to avoid leather products because I'm trying to stop buying clothes with leather in them.
Leather goods.
I did quite a bit of research, and those seem to be the best silhouette to ethical production ratio. They're called Manebi. That's how you spell them. I think the company's based in Paris, but the shoes are hand constructed in Spain. So Spain's in the EU, so their regulations are tight enough for me to be confident that these were made by people who were treated right. I forgot to mention my bag. This is a tote that came with my purchase from Silver League because it was from their Diamonds and Rust capsule. Basically, it's got some inverted box pleats. That's the best name that I can think of for them, but I'm pretty sure there's a different name. 3 of them on each side, and with those, the bag sort of expands and puffs out as you put more stuff in it. So really cool detail, made from like this dead stock navy blue duck canvas. So I'm really excited to see how it wears in. It's pretty thick too, the fabric. Really nice bag. Going to the beach for some solitude. It's probably gonna be a bit windy, so it's all teal right now, but just to, you know, get away, read a bit, do some drawing, some writing, and you know, just relax. On whether this lighthouse is like allowed to climb or not right now. Another wet hair to dress. It is Monday, which is the day that I was originally supposed to leave, but I decided to stay an extra day, so I'm gonna be leaving tomorrow. Sadly, the weather has not permitted a very summery beach visit. It's been about 60 degrees the whole time and super windy over the dunes. So, you know, as soon as I got on the beach, the footage that I took yesterday was probably super distorted from the wind because the wind has been unrelenting. But that's okay. This trip was mostly for me to just get away anyway. I'm not much of a beach guy in the first place, but it's been nice to have a bit of a reprieve and just get out of my stagnant setting. Because even before the ordeal that started about a month ago, I had been in a bit of a creative rut, so this change of setting is doing wonders for my mental health. Been doing a lot of reading, a little bit of drawing, minimal writing, but a lot of relaxing. So that's all that really matters, I guess. Is it even worth me going through my outfit again? It's pretty much the same thing that I wore the first day, except I threw on my Capital jacket. Don't really have any plans set in stone for the day. Probably gonna go back to that market that I took some B-roll in yesterday because they had a veggie burger with some guacamole and onions and tomatoes on this different type of bun that I've never seen before. And it was absolutely phenomenal. So I may take a bike out there later on, but we'll see. For now, I'm probably just gonna go back outside and continue reading and probably talk to y'all a bit more out there if it's not too windy. The wind was so bad in this clip that the audio is pretty much unusable. So I'm recording this afterwards, but basically lately I've just been trying to think more about the things that I buy and try not to buy as much stuff that's just like blatantly disposable, made of plastic, breaks easy, whatever. So I did a good amount of research on a good drafting pencil, and I eventually settled on this one. This is a Uni Kurutoga metal mechanical pencil. There are plastic versions of it, but I wanted to get the metal one just because more longevity. But basically this pencil is innovative in that whenever you press down, the lead rotates, and what this does is remedy the problem of whenever you write or draw or whatever for a while, one edge may become sharper than the other and give you know, uneven line structure, and basically that turning mechanism sort of keeps the lead level. Basically went ahead and spent about $10 on it. It's pretty good so far, but the only issue that I ran into was the size of the eraser is really small, which allows for some pretty precise corrections, but I don't know that it will last much longer. So if you do end up buying it, I would recommend you do the same thing that I did and go ahead and buy some kneadable erasers to go along with it. But otherwise, pretty good purchase, I would say. Next, I've been reading a lot of this book that I got from the Asafala. This has been a very unsettling read, honestly. You know, having my first acquaintance with, you know, the process of death has really, I don't know, broadened my empathy. This book is basically detailing the silence of God during the persecution of Japanese Christians in the 17th century. Very, very cruel happenings. It's basically a struggling Catholic's meditation on Christianity existing in the Japanese climate. So, very interesting read.
I think it's just a suffix. Argentine. Love is every care I have for you. And there's one place I love to be, and that's right there by your side. Someday you'll be with me.
It's my last day here. We're actually about to leave. I just got out of the shower. Really thankful that I was able to come on this trip. Again, big thank you to James. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit more inspired, I guess. A lot less tense. Did me some good, I guess. I know it was pretty irresponsible, but figure if I'm gonna do it, I might as well lean into it and get some content out of it rather than just try to hide it from social media or whatever. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day, and rest in peace, Dad.